Okay, so welcome to the final portion of this little course here for, actually I should say big course, it's been quite long, for our fictional app here. So what we're going to do now is create a new page, and we're going to call this the mobile design. And we'll position this underneath our tablet, and we'll go ahead and take our home page, which is right here. We're going to copy that over to our mobile design. And then what we'll also do is come out here to our frame. We'll choose phone. iPhone 13 Pro Max will be suitable. And we can see it is considerably smaller. And so we've got our work cut out for us just a bit. So let's extend this down. All right. So the first consideration, of course, is going to be the background. That is primary color 10. We'll use the same right here. So let's go ahead and change this to primary color 10 right there. Also the background image itself. We're not going to do any type of hover states for that. Don't need that. So we're just going to drag this over. And now this is a group that contains those overlay elements. So we could just delete those, and that should be fine right there. All right, now it's currently not inside of our frame, so now I'm just going to drag that in, rename this to home as well. And next up is this portion right here, and that is our navigation. So if we bring this in, it's going to break it. So one thing I do want to test out here quickly, if we kind of drag this back, is can we get rid of just that element? All right, and then when we double click onto this, what we'll have to do though is find the actual main component. So if we click here, it's right here. Can we double click this and change this from left and top? Now let's go back to our tablet, or our mobile design rather, and if we scale this, that stays the same. That, unfortunately, the same thing is happening with our icon. So once again, get in the habit of doing this. This will be right, top and right. So if we go back to mobile design, all right, it's working a fair amount better. However, we could see that these end up being quite close together, the white space. So let's also change some other properties to see if we can get that behaving as we want it to. So we have this is set to scale. So let's choose right there, and top as well. And let's go back. All right. Now, actually, we might want to try to change this from to center, or left and right. Let's see what ends up happening when we scale it. A lot of this is just playing around. That's not what we want. So let's try center, and we'll go back to mobile. Yeah, not what we want either. So I think what we could do, being that it's not behaving like we want, because again, if we go back over here and we change this just to right, and we go back to mobile design and we kind of just drag it over here. For one, this is way too large. So what we'll end up doing actually is just detaching this instance, and we'll create a mobile specific version. All right, so we're going to scale this logo down first and foremost, but let's go ahead and ungroup everything. So we're going to scale this down, probably roughly to right around that size. This right here, let's see, we also have another element in here, right there. We're going to get this over. We're going to scale this down as well. While we're here, we're just going to go ahead, add a layout grid. In columns, we'll use 4 columns, which is typical. Make this white. Margin, we can try around 30, or we could just do 20. I think we'll leave it at 20. All right, so we'll get this eye aligned up here. and see if our start campaign button, we could potentially make this smaller. So if we change the size here, maybe to 16, and then adjust this. All right, so now let's Control Shift 4. Might want to move this over slightly. And I personally do like a little bit more white space. So we're going to change that layout grid to 30 for the margin. So we'll move this in and move this in here. All right, so now we have a nice clear call to action in our mobile menu. Many people just choose to omit this, but then you lose that call to action that's always there. So start campaign next to that, that section should work pretty well. Okay, so now we're going to move over this type. So Shift Alt drag over, and we're gonna go ahead and make this smaller. So currently, let's see about using our H3. I think that'll work just fine. We'll push that up and center it. Now this is a little bit larger type than what I want, so that's the subheadline type. Let's just try paragraph. I think that'll work fine. Center that as well. So paragraph, if we look at the settings here, oops, let me click over here. We'll see that it's a size 20. I personally think we should go a little bit smaller than that. So let's detach that type instance here. And it's not changing it. 1 second. There we go. That might be better, or we could even do 16. All right. Slightly adjust to 143 the leading right there. Okay, next up, so now we have 3 columns. We have no way to put those 3 here. We're going to collapse those 3 columns into 3 rows. So we'll just take each one of these, and we group them, easily center it. I might want to move everything down here as well, just a bit, to give ourselves more white space from this area up here. We can also take this one, we'll group it and center it, and then finally this one as well. Group and center. And we just want to make sure we have equal white space between these 3 elements. All right. That's good. And then also we can come down here. We could take this area, let's ungroup them. We'll just take this type, center that, and this button, we can center that as well. And if you wish to get this all the way out, hold Alt and then extend it, and that will work just fine. Now, if you think, I think this person looks a little bit strange, so I think I'm going to, yeah, just keep it, to that size. All right, next up, we'll go ahead and just take this. All this stuff is fairly simple because it's already structured for mobile. The only thing that will change here is the sizes. So this one, type headline 2. We can take this down to perhaps our sub headline, and then this one, bring that in. So we're going to detach that. We could probably create an H3 style at this point. So if we detach this, we could try a 32, and I think that's good right there. So let's go ahead and add that. So we'll type in, oh wait, we already do have a type H3 style. I'm sorry about that. So what we can do is just come over here. There we go. And then we'll drag this in. This is paragraph, so that's fine. That'll work well. Control Shift 4. And then also take this and scale it, holding Shift and Alt. Make sure it's right there, and move it up. Control Shift 4. All right. One other area that we'll do before concluding this, because this one's going to require quite a refactor a bit, is we're going to take this over here. We can scroll or scale that down rather. And then we'll take this, push that into center. All right, so this is going to need to be changed up a bit. So to get this correct, let's ungroup it first. We're going to push this down. This element will come down as well because we need to take this type, push it in, and then we'll also change the font size. Let's try 32. We might even want to go smaller to like 28 or so. That's a lot better looking. We're going to move this up here. Let's try 50 for that or so. There was another one right here. Okay, I'm going to change that to 50 as well. And if you wanted to add, I would say, you know, the process of adding these different type styles, you could do that as well. If you wanted to get real specific. And I think that's good right there. So we're going to move this whole section up. All right. And this is a good spot to stop this particular video because this is going to require a little bit more work because clearly we do not have the room to structure this. So we have to rethink how we're going to present this data on mobile specifically.